Hello and welcome to my video of the Pixie Babyhat. This hat fits from 40 to 43 centimeter head circumference. You need a needle size 6 millimeter European and two different yarn colors. I use here online Montego, one in green and one in gray. I hope you can see this gray yarn in the video. It's a little bit difficult with the light. And we start with a chain of 28 slip stitches and plus one chain for turn. So a total of 29 stitches. So chain 29 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here I have my 28 and here my 29th stitch. Turn back, and now we use the same technique you seen in my hazelnut video. It's Bosnian crochet or slip stitch crochet. So put your needle on the second back loop of your chain and make slip stitches completely back. So you will have 28 slip stitches. So here I am on the end, 28 stitches. You see here the chain stitches. And now we change our color. I take my green yarn and make one chain for turn. Pull here a little bit the green yarn. Turn and crochet 24 slip stitches in back loops only. This is our first short row. The first row had 28 stitches and now we crochet 24 slip stitches in back loops only. Here is my last 24 stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4 lead. Make one chain, turn the work and crochet all stitches back. Back loops only slip stitches, 24. So here I am again on my end. Don't miss a stitch, it's the last, the 24th stitch. And change again my color. Only let the green yarn and take the green yarn, don't cross it. I pull it a little bit to make this loop tighter. Make with my green yarn, you see, don't cross these yarns. One chain for turning. And now the next short row, you make 20 slip stitches in back loops only again. So here are my last stitch. Here let 4 in gray and don't crochet in that chains. You see here is my loop from turning. Chain 1 for turn and again crochet all loops back, 20 slip stitches. Here I'm again on my end, don't miss the last stitch. Change color again. Here I pull this yarn tightly. Let my green yarn and take my gray, don't cross. Make one chain for turn and the next short row will have 16 stitches. Every short row have 4 stitches, how I could say less than the previous row. So here we go, 16 slip stitches in back loop only. Slip the last 4 stitches, don't crochet in there, chain 1, turn and crochet all stitches back. So here I am again on my end of row. Change color and 1 chain for turning again in green. And the next short row we crochet 12. So here 12 stitches, chain 1, turn and crochet all stitches back. Change color again, chain 1 and turn, and now 8 slip stitches. 1 chain, turn and 8 back. Change color, chain 1 and turn, and crochet the last row with 4 slip stitches in back loops only. It's the last short row, 4 stitches. Chain 1 and turn and 4 stitches back. So now we change the color again, chain 1 for turning, and now we must pick up all stitches all the way here. At least you will have 28 stitches. So the first 4, 1, 2, 3, and here 4. And every time before you go the next row below, you must pick up these loops from your turning chains, turning stitches. So pick up the first one, go 1 stair up in the row below, put your needle in the first free stitch, back loop only, and pull through the yarn. And 1, 2, 3 free stitches. Pick up again this loop. Here you see 2 loops on hook, the third one, and now to all loops on your needle. Again 3 free stitches. Pick up again the loop. You hear my little daughter in the background. Pick up here the loop and the row below, put your needle in the first 3 stitches. I'll show you again. Take the loop and put the needle in the first 3 stitch, take the yarn and pull through. And again 3 free stitches. Here my last stair. Here I take the first one, and now I have here the last 3 free stitches. And here we must do a little thing. It's the only time we do that. You take here the loop from turning, put your needle in, take the yarn and make 1 stitch, 1 stitch, 2 and a 3rd stitch again. So we have 4 stitches more, 32. You see here 28. This is the first segment. Here I explain something in German, I don't know what. And the only thing you must do now is to make 1 more chain for turning. So you have 33 stitches now. Turn the work and crochet 32 slip stitches back. Here you use the back loops only. Here you see the first one, the second one, the third one, and so on till the end of row. So now I have my 32 slip stitches, and you see this is one segment. We need a total of 5 segments. You start again with a green short row of 28 stitches here and back, then 20 and again back, 16 back, 12 back, 8 back and 4 back. You end with this green row, and then you take the gray yarn and crochet back to here, and here we will see us again. So here I am on my gray and last row of the segment. Here I attached the last green in green loop and go one row below. Here you see, here we made this 4 chains, and now you take again only the back loops. Here you have 2 on loop, and you crochet again 32 stitches on end of the second segment. This segment you repeat 3 more times, so you will have a total of 5 segments. Here you see the turning chain from the row, and here is the second. This chains we need on end of the beanie to close the top of the head. Chain 1, turn again and make your segments till you have 5. So here I am on my 5th segment and last row in green, in gray. And now you see 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 segments. Here you see the top of the beanie. You have 5 gray ribs. And I'll show you again which loops you need. Here you have 1, here is the second, the third, the 4th, and the 5th. I have it yet only 4. Here's the first. This loops we need for the top on the end. Now we're sewing this first and last row together. It's the same way how I made it by, in the hazelnut beanie. So outside in, your loop is on the right side. Put the needle in the first chain stitch in both loops. Take this gray loop, and pull it through. So now I can cut this gray yarn, pull it tight, and cut. And now I make 1 chain with my green yarn. And now I sewing it together. From the first green row I take both loops, and from the gray last row only the back loop. It's here the back loop. So here we take the first stitch both loops, and on the other side 1 back loop. Take the yarn and pull through all loops on the hook. Pull it tight, and the next one. 2 loops and 1 loop. Both loops from green, back loop from gray. Here again, both loops and only back loop. So here I am on the end, on top of my head. Now you have here 1 turning chain. Put this on a needle. Go in the next gray stitch. Here you don't have really stitches, you only have 2 twisted yarns. Take 1 strand of these yarns here. I take the strand in the back, here 1 back loop, and pull through all. Now you have here again 1 strand. I take the strand behind, and the back loop only from the other side, and again. So now I'm on the top. I cut off the yarn and pull through, take a needle, and now I go through all loops that I show you in this 5 gray loops, our chains from turning, that are five gray ribs was it, and now are 5 loops. One, two, three, four, 5 is here, and I go again to the first here. This is the first one, and pull tightly. Then sewing the yarn, sew all threads of your yarn, and now I crochet, I think you call it brim here, edge. I take my green yarn, and I also worked in slip stitches, and you put your needle always in one rib, but when you put it in one rib you take both strands of yarn. So here I show you on this one. I put the needle in, here your green and the gray yarn is on the needle, both strands of yarn. And now I make one chain and make in every rib one stitch. So here I pick up the green and the gray strand in the next rib, and again both strands, here one green and the gray. Take the yarn and pull through. In every rib make one stitch. Here are my last one. Here again, both strands. And the last one comes here in my first chain I make. Take the yarn and pull through. And now I crochet one more round. In every stitch in back loop only one slip stitch. You have 40 ribs and 40 slip stitches. If you had one more or less, it doesn't matter. So here I end my second round, and it's my last round. You see here is my last stitch here. Then I cut the yarn and pull through and take a needle, go into the next stitch in back loop only here, and sew your thread in the inside. And I think it's a really invisible seam. So I think I don't need to show you this. You see here is a little bit tighter from the edge. This is okay so. Now our beanie is finished, and I wish you a lot of fun with Crochet This Beanie. Bye!